Here we go. I believe we're live. And hello, everyone, and every soul. And I know everyone is doing fine despite any current situation or circumstance that you may be in. All is well. We persevere and we get through it. Uh, what I did, and Femke joined in about a week ago. We did a twin flame discussion on Telegram channel where some others joined in and asked some questions, and so we had a discussion. And with that, that discussion, I put it out here on Facebook so that others, because we recorded it, that others could also listen to it where I didn't do it on Facebook. Um, but having said this, I'm doing one on Facebook here tonight. And in that approximate hour and a half Telegram twin flame discussion we had, we only covered perhaps half of the important topics, so I need to go back to Telegram and finish the twin flame teaching and education with another one later. But having said this, I wish now to do the Facebook one and to uh, give a presentation on the divine delegation of the twin flames, because that's what it is, and it's quite possible as well that I will need to do a follow-up, a part two, if you will, in the future. So having said that, thank you all for your support. Anyone watching this, I'll put the post out later. Femke and I we're fully funded, and we're so grateful for that support. So we're fully funded to go ahead into the future, and hopefully very soon no one will need to require any financial support or assistance, that we have it all ourselves. But nevertheless, we're just not quite there yet. What I'd like to do is, with your questions and answers, try to keep them perhaps, put them out when you divinely feel to, and I'll scroll through after. But what I wish to do is I wish to speak a bit first and just purvey a bunch of information out there to you. So I'll begin. What I need to do is to say that for 47 years in this humanoid vessel, I thought I was just human. Then I realized how I was disguised from my true divine identity, the same as many of you, but we didn't know it then. And having said this, after 47 years, Prime Creator spoke to I directly from the sky, Father, and since then it's been ongoing communication. But in those 6 months following, after Father first spoke to I and I knew my divine identity, I was tutored and educated on many things, including the twin flame aspect, things that I'd not known in my 47-year-old humanoid life. These things that Father showed me was very abruptly shown everything, and very fully informed from the higher divine level, if you will. So I need to say this because when I speak of these things, there's no conjecture. These things are not conjured up, if you will. They are not speculation. They are truth, and it is divine knowledge that I purvey out to, of course, anyone that it resonates with. And even though upon the planet many love to say it's a soul experience, which it is, you have to go through your experiences, but the thing is that there is a reason for it, and once you go through your experiences and your realization, you also know that there is a mission attached when you reach that level. Um, so, having said this, first part of what I was informed of, if you will, with Father, is that upon the planet there was the 12 and still is 12 original twin flame creator pairs that are in physical form upon the planet. I am one, Femke and I are two of those. And there is, the way that we like to put it is that there are 13 original twin flame pairs, but one of those pairs, the 13th pair, stays in the etheric and let's say mostly in the energetic realm to assist directly with the original 12 creator twin flame pairs, but also the subsequent pairs that have been created as a result. Now, when I say created, it's because of the work that the 12 original twin flame pairs have done upon the planet and in this reality has raised the vibration that it allows for many other twin flame pair relationships to come into formation, and very powerful twin flame pairs as well. Now, the uh, twin flame divine delegation of, let's say, not only the 12 original twin flame creator pairs, but also all of the other twin flame pairs. There is the divine delegation that comes with this, the responsibility, and and also part of the divine mission, which is always there until we are out of this time. So, having said this, with the twin flame concept, many, if not all, had not heard of it until you became awakened or began your awakening. And there was reasons for this because the twin flame concept was not known back in time to any degree. If it was, let's say that this knowledge was not widespread and it was contained. However, now where we changed the timeline so much, you may be able to go back, let's say 20 years ago, and begin to see twin flame things. But what I need to say, it was not there to any degree prior. History has changed to reflect in support the twin flame concept, in the least, in this now. Um, so taking it from there, it is very real, and the twin flame delegations has been divinely oriented for this most unprecedented time, especially in the overall ascension and the ascension of the planet as well, with all of the other human souls. So, with these twin flame relationships, not only are they very powerful when two comes together, masculine and feminine, and I specify that because that's what it is. When they come together, it's the procreation connection of the feminine gender and the masculine gender energies that comes together to procreate, and especially in this dimension, in this reality, where it is feminine dominant, if you will, the energetic structure, the energetic creation. Simply, I like to say, uh, because all things are born, if you will, into this world, living things are born mostly of the mother, except when you get to the plant kingdom. But when you look at the animal and bird kingdom, there is the specific mother gender uh, for this. So, having said this, it is important that the twin flame pairs are masculine and feminine, and also they are the prototypes for the new relationships for the fifth dimensional planet. So, the twin flames pairs are the peers, they are the examples that as they come together and go through their energetic work, their energetic imprint is released into reality that is picked up by the other subsequent twin flame pairs, that they also become harmonized and in that direction. What I need to say with twin flames, this union is a sacred union. It's a monogamous between the two, and there are also very important reasons for that. And when you look at why they call it the twin flame uh, delegation or whatever, it's because, the one soul split to form a masculine and a feminine gender in this time. So two souls come together and merge to be the complete one. But the truth is that there is only one true twin flame. I heard something the other day said about seven, and no, that's not true in that respect. What is true that on the twin flame journey, you could have several as you're going, and these would be what is termed as catalysts until you get to your right full compatible match, if you will. Now, for the most part, over the last 4 years, the twin flame delegations were making incredible progress forward at advancing the physical vessels, at advancing reality to the degree that they could. But what I also need to say that there is a divine regulating factor that regulates how quick humanity advances. And what we are doing in the blink of an eye, we are advancing reality very quickly. But having said this, most of the twin flames had reached a threshold that they could not surpass through, they could not go through at this time yet, because there was the catch up for the rest of the ascension that they're connected to, and the reason why they're actually here upon the planet. Uh, the twin flame pairs that have come together and did most of their work and have merged in the monogamous union and sacred union, they are ready right at the moment that they could vanish from this reality. But that's what's divinely regulated that you have to keep here, because it's not about you, the twin flame relationship and love affair, that you just vanish from this reality. It's the mission that's attached that keeps you here, and that is a divine uh, order, and also, let's say, a soul contract by each of the twin flames that agreed to this, that you would not leave, if you will, until the work is done. Now, there is also what I need to say. There is the general rule of thumb, but there is exceptions. And one exception, what I have seen, is a physical twin flame pair together in this reality where one has left, has gone, ascended forward. Now, this is also for important reasons, but it's part of that twin flame pairs, their soul agreement, but also their soul purpose and mission as well. So even though one goes forward, they're never separated, and it's part of the overall divine mission to have this connection from the etheric down to the physical as well. So nothing is as it seems, as you come to know in the world, and everything that perhaps you were taught. You always got to keep open to evolve, because truth is constantly evolving. And you take a truth, what resonates in the moment, but don't restrict yourself to that truth, because as you go forward, you're going to find that there's other truths will come in and replace what you thought was true before. and you don't wish to restrict yourself by thinking when you hear one thing or do one thing that it's the absolute truth, because again, truth evolves. Truth is not constant. There are different truths for the different energetic levels and consciousness levels as you keep going forward. And so, as not to cause a lot of confusion for yourself, just keep open to evolve and follow the new truths, the new higher truths as you're given them. So, what will I say here now? What I will say is the twin flame pair delegations is a very responsible and important divine delegation, as you're seeing. It's not the fluffy bunnies and flowers and sitting under the tree. It's not candlelight dinners. Uh, it's not, all of the uh, romanticism. I don't even want to use that word with it. But this does come. We're just not there yet with all of these beautiful, loving, peaceful things that we wish to experience and enjoy, because the real reason is we exist for all time, and it is coming. We have that divine inclination has already been planted, that we know what the future holds. But at the same time, we know that we're still here in this reality because there is the mission and the purpose that is attached to that to achieve what we know we can do and where we're going with it. Uh, when two comes together, uh, twin flames, again, this is not just a romantic relationship. It's energetics and everything else is involved, and it's a very serious relationship, and a very disciplined one as well. But what I need to say for everyone right at this point, if you're in a twin flame relationship, it's not that you have done anything wrong. It's just the divine regulated ceiling that you're as far as you can go with things at any certain time. But having said this, the vibration is raising higher on the planet, which is opening the doors right now, and once again, for the work on the twin flame unions to begin to, let's say, accelerate and be worked on upon again. And with every bit of work that is done in these twin flame relationships, it gets reflected out in the overall vibration of the planet in reality and uplifts it. The love that is generated from a twin flame pair is very real. It can be recorded, if you will, even with Earth's instruments, with physics. It is a very real power and energy. And even, let's say, one of you could affect a million when you're enlightened and in your power, but when two twin flames come together, with each one before they were together affected a million. When they come together, it's many millions, it's multitudes of that. So the combination of two coming together, one able to affect 1 million, able to affect 1 million, when they come together, they affect more than 2 million. It's many multitudes of it. And it's also divinely designed to be this way for the divine work that they have to do. So how's the feed going so far? Pretty good, I guess. Don't see any complaints, so that's great, or not complaints, just to let me know it's not working well. So that's good. So with this very important subject, the time has become ripe again to begin to work more on your relationships. But it's also important to know, again, that when you go into, let's say, what you think is your first twin flame experience, it is possible that that is the one that you think is your twin flame, but it's also equally possible that it's not, because you may have different twin flame catalysts that assist with your journey and understanding going through the experience till you get to the right one where you have the harmony and everything is clicking. And when I say everything is clicking as well, it's all of your chakras. It's your heart, your root, and all of your chakras coming upwards and at least up to your soul star chakra above your head, that you're connected and you're aware of this, that you can feel this energy that you're moving through your body. So it's no refuting that it's real. And and you can feel it circulating and moving through your physical vessel, and you're also guided in your, when you're in your intimacy working with the energy, you're not alone, if you will, in your bedroom. There is the etheric assistance that is overseeing these sacred unions and the merging of the soul as well. Um, so with this, in the beginning of the twin flame relationships, typically the heart is activated prior or first, and then it goes to the root. And for any individual that has all of these sexual sensations in the root, even if they didn't meet their twin flame yet, or it's very important to know that this is your energy that you're feeling there, that it may feel like you're being violated from an outside source with sexual energy, but this is not the case. It is actually your root that has been activated for very important reasons, to activate the rest of your Merkaba, your Kundalini, and also to prepare you for later on a twin flame union with the right one. Many, they mistake and think that they are violated by a demonic force, or someone projecting, if you will, the sexual energy on them, but this is not really the case. No one can invade your energy. It is your energy. No one can violate that space. They can violate it if you're not aware of what is going on. However, I'm giving you this awareness now. So with this, any occurrence, any of you that's watching that may occur with sexual energy, you will know that it's your own energy from now on. And it's prudent, when you feel that energy, keep pushing it up or pulling it up, because this energy begins to activate all of your other chakra centers, your divine energetic centers, and connects you to your soul star chakra, which connects you more into creator and creation, mother, father, creator. So it's important that you know what this energy is for, that you're not being violated. This is your divine Kundalini, Merkaba, being activated for your divine purpose and roles that are to come. But it's also your multi-dimensional vehicle that is being activated. This is your fuel from your root that activates this multi-dimensional abilities as well. So, any questions at this point? And hey everyone, Mylene, Cheryl, Sue, Donna, Nikki, Laura, Jackie, Candace. Oh, I gotta back up, it jumped her. Thank you, Laura. A little choppy I was, but okay. So Marlene says she feels she's in separation from her divine masculine counterpart at the moment. what I need to say with this, yes, what you have is with this ascension upon the planet, you have, let's say, if we have 1 million, I just want to just grab a number for simplicity's sake. Let's just use 100, yeah, that's easier. So let's say you have 100 that's advancing forward and with with the twin flames. But what's occurring out of this 100 is that the 75% is typically feminine and 25% masculine, because the feminine are leading the charge in this ascension. So the feminine are more in their heart. They're up here, the 75%, while it's about 25% of the masculine that are in their heart. And what this does, it when they're in their heart, just side by side, what it does, it makes it more difficult right now for the divine feminine to find a partner, because in reality, there is not enough for each one to find a divine masculine that is compatible with them. So, because there is a shortage of the divine masculine, if you will, yet you have feminine that know they have a twin flame, but there's they could be down here, not ready yet, and this is where they're at. If you're not with them, it means they're just not ready yet. But it also could mean they're on one side of the planet, that they are compatible with you now, but for divine reasons you just didn't meet as well. But overall, if you are with the awareness of the twin flame concept, then it means you have at least some sort of a divine delegation with the twin flame concept and the mission that it entails. So the thing is, you you keep empowering yourself, keep working on yourself, do all of your mastery of the fear, embody the kindness, embody the love, and act out of that way without fear. And by you, while you're waiting, empowering yourself, what occurs is that your twin flame partner, even though you mightn't have met him yet, he's also doing the same thing, because there cannot be a huge gap between the twin flames, meaning you cannot be advanced in your crystalline process while your twin flame is not awakened yet. It's usually not that much of a gap. They usually have been up doing work somewheres as well, even though you may not see them yet. But also it's important for each individual that the twin flame concept has come in their awareness to begin immediately to work upon yourself in your mastery of fear and your purity of going with the virtues, no lying, um, and putting out kindness, all of the good virtuous things. And as you empower yourself, then what will occur, it makes it easier that when it's time for your twin flame to arrive on the scene, your masculine counterpart, he will have also done the work that he can be compatible with you. Now, what I do is I speak from Femke's, in my experience, when we come together. To my pleasant surprise, Femke had her work all done. I did not know that beforehand. We really didn't even know each other at all. But very quickly, when we come together, everything was sparking where it should be, and all of the inner work was done. And uh, this is the case that because also Femke was doing her inner work to be prepared for the union, at the same time I was, although our situations of getting towards the union were different, as it is with everyone. You all have a unique path to get towards it, and but coming together, then when you come together with it, it is, and it's about also establishing harmony that gets rippled outward into the reality. But don't stress and pressure yourself, meaning that you need to be what you would think virtuously pure and perfect, meaning that you do have a little negative thing in you that could be activated and that could be activated when necessary, because not only with the twin flame journey does it come together working on the relationship, both of you are also powerful empaths, and you are also working with transmuting energies and things on the outside. And if you did not have a little bit of this negative thing within you yet, you would not be able to perform those important divine functions. And of course, if you didn't have that, we would not be able to stay in this reality. So it's a divine essential ingredient to at least have some little negative thing that's still in there. You might not even know it's there, but it's important just to keep us grounded if it needs to be divinely activated. If we begin to get too high and we begin to levitate and float, out of this reality. So don't be too hard on yourself, and trust. And the twin flame concept is very real. It's very important. It is a very important part of this ascension, because we're dealing with creation, and we are light and we are divine, and we have this ability to interact with all of creation, which is all of reality, and descend it into uh, the moral, at least civilized world, out of this savagery that we see here today. So I'll scroll, see if we have any more questions here. Just scrolling here. Sharanda, she says her solar plexus chakra must be blocked, plus all in my small intestines. With this, what we need to say as well, individually, you're working once your Kundalini Merkava has been activated. Your sexual energy that is yours, that you feel, this is your fuel. Keep pushing it upward. But as you push your fuel upward, your energetic fuel, then let's say in your case with your solar plexus, you've got it up this far in your solar plexus area, but you feel a block, and then when you feel a block in that area, this means that you have to go through an experience to master what is holding you back. And when you look typically at the solar plexus, it's about your power, you standing in your power, not letting anyone else be an authority over you. So what will occur is you'll be subjugated with experiences of one trying to overpower you until you stand and say no. Then you master this and you rise up out of that blockage that you have. So you feel the blockage because it's an indication to tell you that you need to work on this area in the lease. And in this case, it's not submitting, not being subservient to anyone else that is trying to take advantage of you or to be an authority over you. There has to be harmony and mutuality and working together. So, to keep it simple. Any other hints about working with this energy alone or in couple? Yeah, when you come to, so I just touched on a bit of that, where you work with your energy yourself, work on your with your chakras as you push the energy up, as we just discussed. The first one is the sacral, above the root. So typically, when one has the root chakra activated, then what occurs is they'll be subjugated with, in their life, in their reality, a lot of fears, because then you got to master that, and know not to fear. And as you overcome the fear, uh, to such a level, then you advance into another level, your solar plexus, with your divine identity, and your divine authority has to be uh, what you work on to instill and to establish. You're no good to the light if government or a police or something can control you into doing something that is not moral. This is the thing. So you need to have the divine courage and stamina to stand for what you know is not right, but also know that it's just not you doing this, that at the same time worldwide there's many that are in these parts of the process of doing this. And typically, most of Australia, with the ones down there yet, are in, the sacral, and coming partially into that solar plexus area for many there. And this is the level what they're reaching because of what occurred with reality. It's been a huge test upon them, to do what is moral, and what is righteous, because it is the morality and the righteousness which is the purity that ascends us into the moral, righteous world out of this present savagery. So here the choices need to be made, not only from the human consciousness, but also from your divine consciousness, as you bring more of that in and into your being, to be your divine guidance, and how you navigate, and how you connect your heart space with your consciousness combined to be a optimal navigational unit, with everything that you do. And to embody, you need the consciousness with the awareness to embody the integral um, achievements with what you master with your journey. So you need the consciousness to put it embodied. And what we mean by embodied is that you no longer act, if you will, out of the old ways. For example, if you had a phobia, a fear of dogs, and you're walking down the street, you used to run away or not even go. With this, you go right into it, and this is your mastery. You go knowing that the dog cannot harm you, and what you begin to see, and you confirm for yourself on your mastery with the fear and the phobias, is that what you thought would happen, like a dog would attack you, it actually ran away. And these are profound confirmations that show you how much you have mastered your inner work, if you will, just as an example. Katrina asked, should we all be connecting with our twin flames now? What I always say, it's great to test the water, Katrina, to see if they are ready. And yeah, it's an opportune time once again to begin testing that water. But if they're not ready, don't exert energy and don't have expectation upon them. Because if you begin to have expectation upon a partner, that is an attempt to control them, which is actually fear. Then you're projecting fear on them, which is also keeping them in their shell, in their bubble. The best thing to do is to be from a distance, and say they're coming along, and it's divine timing. So you don't wish to control nor put expectation upon them, to keep it simple. But yes, everyone should test the waters again to see if there's any receptance with any of a suspected twin flame pair partner. But also, it's important to go into these relationships without any fear. If you feel one's your twin flame, and if they're open, you go in and you see what occurs. You go in with full trust because it's part of a divine development that's unprecedented. It's no longer human what's happening with you, but it's part of the important experience to develop your abilities and to advance you and to assist in raising the planetary vibration. So you go into, let's say, an initial twin flame, what could be, looks like a twin flame experience. You go into there, but you make it clear with the other one that if you begin to go into an intimate relationship and working with the energies, you make it clear that you neither of you are committed nor obligated to each other unless you have everything firing, but still you make it clear that if one of you must leave in the future, if this is not the right twin flame, then amicably, friendly, you can part, and then there's not a projection by the other partner of negativity towards you, because the understanding was put prior going into the intimacy. And this is an important thing. You always make this clear before you go into the intimacy that there is no obligation nor commitment to the other, because the truth is you don't know if this is going to be the one or not, and you don't wish to be tied by this one into a relationship. You don't wish to be creating unnecessary negativity when you try to get out of it. So when you're right up front, first say this, and then you go forward, see where it goes. If it's not resonating, you part, and you can part instantly. So you need to be as free and flexible, because this is how you excel quickly as well in your empowerment and even the others. And it gets kind of tricky, if you will, with the twin flame finding the true one. And one of the reasons why that is that there's, if you will, 12 soul groups as well upon the planet, meaning that when you begin your twin flame journey, that you could feel at least some connection with all of those in your soul family, and sometimes you might only feel the heart connection with some, but some others you might feel the heart and a little bit of the root connection. But the thing is, to identify your twin flame, your real one, is to feel the connections on all levels. So it's very prudent and important for you that you're able to discern, okay, are we both speaking truth? Are you doing that? If that is it's harmonious to the degrees that you can have it. So that's important. And I kind of got a little bit off of what I was saying, but nevertheless, that's good. It'll come up later if it needs to. Hello, John, Stacy. I gotta go back with the heroes, Gamos. I find it was Sue. Oh, there it is. Can you explain heroes, Gamos? I call it heroes. And I don't know what the proper pronunciation is for it, but that's fine with I. So the heroes, Gamos. Can any two people experience it, or is it something sacred only for twins? With this, what I will say, Sue, is that it is possible for two from a soul family to have a slight soul merge. But what will occur, it's not the right one, so eventually it'll be a rejection. Just the same as if, to use as an analogy, if a blood donor in the past got blood that was not their blood type, there would be the rejection, and it doesn't go in, it doesn't fit. So it's important to know that. You may think, that it's the one, but it's these merges are very rare when it does occur, and it's for other divine purposes. So it's important as well to discern, keeping that in mind. But with the heroes gamos, the full heroes gamos, with what your question is asking, is no, that is complete and taken to the full soul merge, and to accessing the void, going through the firmament. When you begin to do that to the other dimensional realities and more, then that is the heroes gamos. And when you begin to do more of your divine, co-creator work here on the planet. So not any two can experience this. No, it's the real is sacred, for twin flames. But when you have two that are able to do this, to merge, then they are what you could categorize as a twin flame of some degree, at least. Just scrolling here, see if there's. Sharanda says, "Can your twin flame change to a different person?" I don't really know what you're asking with that, but I would say no. That's with that. Mylene asks, "Is the runner chaser a normal process in the twin flame dynamic?" No, I'd say, Mylene, I saw that perspective out there on a runner chaser flame. No, no, no. That's a distorted, uh, view and perspective by those. It's not a runner. Uh, those identity labels. So for I, it doesn't resonate, to use those terms to describe what is actually happening with it. So I just don't use those terms, and it doesn't resonate for I to use those. Thank you. Jackie Burns, is there only one twin flame? There's only one true twin flame partner, yes, because again, this is sacred love. It's monogamous. It's not polygamous with many partners, many energies. This is not sacred. It's not divine. It's sacred and divine. It is two, together in loyalty, sacredness, and this is the purity, as well, which is associated with it. And Sarah says she would like to hear about false twin flame. There is, per se, Sarah, not I already covered a lot of this, but it's not the false twin flame. There are the twin flame catalysts, meaning that they're not false if they come in. They play an important role in one's development, and for them to come in, they are essential for that soul's growth and development. So therefore, really, they're not false, and the higher perspective of everything is that there really is no false. There's only the evaluation from a certain perspective and consciousness that will think, yet things might appear false and be false, because that still is here. And I even need to say at times there are falsities, but in reality, once we get out of this reality, you'll see that in actuality there was no falsity, that everything was orchestrated and staged to have the value. So in actuality, everything is truth, because essentially everything that was created is truth, except when it got distorted and manipulated into the lies and the falsity here. But I know this sounds confusing, but there is, once you're completely out of the humanoid experience, then you will know more readily of what I'm saying, but you also know it yourself. And Jackie Burns asks, she says, can you have a twin flame in your life when young, then find a new one later in life? Yes, most certainly. As I just said, you have the twin flame catalysts that come in to serve a purpose. So, and it's I believe I'm explaining that as simple as I can. You know. So yeah, you can, but it's how you define. You know, if it's a full-fledged twin flame, then you don't have another one, if you will. There is the only one, but there is the twin flame catalyst. So, rightfully so, you can say they were a twin flame for a while, but then there was a higher version come in of a twin flame, but the full-fledged twin flame is the real one and is the one. You're all welcome. Any more questions? We're 51 minutes into this. I'm just trying to think what I have covered in here that I had covered also in the Telegram one we had, and what I might not have covered here yet. So we took some questions on this. We're in the optimal time to take your relationships forward, as I said, and to work on those, because the higher the vibration gets on the planet, and it is getting higher, the higher timeline is, the lower timeline things are playing out and imploding. It needs to constrict and dissolve, and ones rise out of the ashes of the lower timeline into the higher timeline, if you will, because this higher timeline is getting more vibration, is getting populated more and more all the time, and it's this higher timeline, which is the planetary ascension, that all of the souls will be coming into this space, and then go forward on an individual basis, or twin flame pair basis, whatever is occurring, in the future with that. But the thing is not to be, with folk wondering so much on the future. It's to know that you got the general direction. We know where we're going. That is the direction, and just keep on that path, no matter what. And this is what takes us forward and propels us forward quicker. And of course, the love, the peace, and the trust. All of these qualities and virtuous attributes are so important, so that you're not attracting a lot of unnecessary negativity, is what we say. So, any more questions at this time? I'll give it a moment or so, and if there's not any more questions, I'll close this one down, and I believe we'll go a little bit more into the details, the dynamics of the twin flame unions and relationships, perhaps in the next one, going a little bit more depth with that. So, having said that, the next one that I do on here, I'll have the list of the points so that I don't forget anything, hopefully, and I'll be doing one part 2 on the Telegram channel group that I have in the near future as well. You know, one of the reasons for that is that there's ones that are on Telegram that are not on Facebook, and vice versa. So I found myself a little bit doing uh, doubles, duplicates, being in more than one place at once. And as a result of this as well, it at times keeps me even more busier with what we're doing, and our full intent is on. It's our divine mission to purvey information, to teach, to share, to empower as many as we can, because once we have everyone empowered with high vibration, we're in the new reality that everyone can enjoy, let's say, the beautiful romance with your twin flame relationships, and lay in the beds with rose petals and uh, nice white curtains, windows open, birds chirping outside, candlelight dinner, and peace and love, happiness and harmony. So all these things are coming. We're just and more, and we're just not there yet. But we are the ones that does it, and you know it is imminent, inevitable, and we're getting it done. So, having said that, no more questions. So this is perfect, and thank you all. Namaste. Much love, light, gratitude, peace, harmony, and abundance to all. And have a great dawn, day, evening, wherever you may be. Thank you. Bye now.